6,500 ounces. That is the number Tony Beets set at the beginning of Season 16. Not a wish, not a rough target, a commitment. 6,500 ounces of gold by the end of the season or the season is a failure, and Tony Beets does not do failure. But right now at episode 18 with the clock running out and 7 crew members gone, Tony is staring at that number and he knows exactly what it means. He is short on people, he is short on time, and the ground just swallowed his dozer. So Tony Beets does what any man does when his back is against the wall and everything is on the line. He plays his last card. He calls his brother Klaus. And this Friday, March 20th, 2026, we find out if that card is enough. I am Oliver Stone, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going deep on Gold Rush Season 16, Episode 18. Like brother. Because this episode is not just about a flooded dozer or a crew shortage or a family moment. This episode is about whether Tony Beets hit 6,500 ounces. That is the real story. That is what every single scene this Friday is actually about. And once you understand that, everything else hits completely different. Let us get into it. To understand why Klouse showing up is such a big deal, you have to understand the 6,500's target and what it has meant for Tony's entire season. 6,500 ounces is not a small number. At current gold prices, that is millions of dollars worth of production. It requires a full operation running at full capacity for the entire season without major interruptions. Every breakdown costs ounces. Every delay costs ounces. Every person you lose from your crew costs ounces. And Tony Beets has been bleeding ounces all season. Because the season has not been clean. Equipment issues, ground challenges, operational pressure. Every obstacle has been chipping away at that 6,500's target. And now at episode 18, Tony is running out of runway to make it back. That is the real weight behind Tony lost 7 crew members. Now brother Klaus is his only hope. Those 7 crew members are not just 7 people. They are 7 sources of production capacity. 7 roles that directly connected to Tony's ability to move material and pull gold. Lose 7 people, and your daily output drops. Your weekly output drops, and your seasonal total, that 6,500's number Tony committed to, starts looking less and less possible with every day those 7 seats stay empty. Tony did not just lose crew members. Tony lost ounces. And at this stage of the season, those ounces are not coming back unless something changes right now. That is why Klouse is the last card. Not the next option. Not one of several moves Tony still has available. The last card. Because there are no more moves after this. There is no time to hire. No time to train. No time to restructure the operation. There is only Klaus. A man Tony trusts completely, who needs zero orientation, who walks onto that site and immediately becomes a functioning part of the machine. Klaus is not coming to learn the job. Klaus is coming to do the job. And for Tony's 6,500 all's goal, that distinction is everything. Think about what Klause's arrival actually means in production terms. Every day Tony has been running short-staffed is a day where the wash plant is not operating at full capacity, where the excavator is not moving as much material as it should, where the entire system is producing below the level Tony needs to hit his number. Klaus walking onto that site does not just fill a gap emotionally or symbolically, it fills a gap operationally. It puts another capable, experienced, no-excuses person into an operation that has been desperate for exactly that. Every hour Klaus is on site is an hour where Tony's production is closer to where it needs to be to chase down 6,500's before the season ends. But here is where this episode twists the knife. Right when Klaus arrives to help Tony chase that number, the dozer goes down, flooded. And the rescue mission to get it back falls completely off the rails. Now layer that on top of everything else. Tony is 7 crew members short. Tony is already behind on his 6,500's goal. Klaus just arrived as the last card play. And now the dozer, the single most important piece of equipment for moving material and generating gold production, is sitting in a flood with a failed rescue mission around it. That is not just a bad day. That is a season-defining crisis. Because without the dozer, material does not move. Without material moving, gold does not come out of the ground. And without gold coming out of the ground, 6,500 becomes a number Tony talked about at the start of the season and never reached. The rescue mission going off the rails is the moment this episode earns its place as one of the most important episodes of Season 16. Because it is the moment where Tony has to make a decision. Does he pour more resources into the Dozer rescue, burning time and manpower that his short-staffed operation cannot afford to lose? Or does he cut his losses, absorb the hit, and redirect every available person toward gold production and chasing down that 6,500 goal? That decision is the last card moment inside the last card episode. Tony playing Klaus was the big move. But the Dozer crisis is forcing Tony to make another big call on top of it, and with the season this far gone, there is no safety net under either choice. And through all of it, through the crew shortage, through the Dozer flooding, through the rescue falling apart, through the pressure of 6,500 does sitting over everything like a deadline, Tony Beets is stacking gold bricks. That gold wall going up is not just a satisfying visual. In the context of the 6,500's goal, it is a scoreboard. Every brick on that wall is a data point. It is Tony measuring where he is against where he needs to be. And the fact that Tony is still smelting, still stacking, still building that wall while his operation is in crisis, that is the most important thing this episode shows you. Because it means Tony has not given up on 6,500. He has not revised the number down. He has not made peace with falling short. He is still stacking. He is still going. The last card is still in play. When you sit down this Friday, Oliver Stone wants you to watch this episode through one lens and one lens only, 6,500 ounces. Every scene you see, ask yourself what it means for that number. When Klaus arrives on site and gets straight to work, what does that do for Tony's production capacity, and how many ounces does it potentially add back to the total? When the Dozer rescue falls apart, how many ounces does Tony lose by being down that equipment for however long it takes to resolve? When Tony stacks gold bricks, how close does that wall look to where it needs to be for 6,500 to still be possible? And when the episode ends, does Tony look like a man who believes he can still hit his number? Or does he look like a man who is starting to do the math and not liking the answer? That final scene is what everything builds toward. Because like brother as an episode title is really about one brother showing up to help another brother chase the most important number of his mining career. Klaus is not here for a family visit. Klaus is here because 6,500 is on the line and Tony needs his last card to be a good one. This is Gold Rush Season 16, Episode 18, Like Brother. This Friday, March 20th, 2026. Tony lost 7 crew members. Now brother Klaus is his only hope. The 6,500's goal is in the balance. The Dozer is in a flood. The rescue has failed. And Tony Beets is playing the last card he has left because that is what you do when the number matters and quitting is not an option. Drop in the comments right now. Do you think Tony hits 6,500 by the end of Season 16, or does everything that has gone wrong this season finally catch up with him? Oliver Stone wants to know where the Gold Rush family stands before Friday night. If this breakdown gave you exactly what you needed, hit that like button right now. Subscribe if you are not already on the team, ring that notification bell, and Oliver Stone will see you Friday night with the full reaction after the episode airs. Tony lost 7 crew members, now brother Klaus is his only hope. 6,500 ounces. Last card on the table, see you Friday.